ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Ralf Automotive. Wasn't actually planning on doing a video, but I figured I'd bring you all along. I haven't had one of these here on the YouTube, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. We got I believe it's a 2001 Ford Escape. These have quite a deep spark plug hole. It's not this. This is this is my Nissan van, but anyway, this is the spark plug here for it. So I'm going to bring you along. Generally, if they work okay, they do not take this long to complete. But I don't want to jinx myself and tell you, oh, it ain't no problem, and then we end up having a problem. I will try to explain in detail here what's got to happen, and I'm going to have to get my bearings here as well because of what it is. Okay, so this, ladies and gentlemen, that's the kit that you generally find. I get pretty much get them. I've had the last one that I bought. I've had it like I did 2 years ago or something like that. I generally buy another one. You know, have a good sharp tap. Preference doesn't make no difference to me. You know what y'all do. You can hold on to it. There's 3 inserts in the kit generally: a short, a medium, and a long. This one here, judging by the spark plug, we're going to use that long one. This one here is the tap, and what I did here is I put a little red spray grease on it. Now, there's a lot of controversy on how to do one of these. I'm going to give you a little shot of this. So that's like really deep there in the hole. Now, as I was saying, there is a lot of controversy on how to do this. You know, some people don't use the grease on it. Some people put real heavy coating of grease on it. Tell you the truth, I'm not too big of a friend on putting grease on it, because for the simple reason, when you put grease on it, yes, it catches the shavings on the grease. That's the idea behind it. But it's also a booger to get those shavings out, because now they got sticky grease all over them. So, I mean, it's, you know, like I said, it is a personal preference. You know, at the end of the day, I guess it doesn't matter. It is what it is. A damaged hole is damaged hole. You know, if somebody opts to do a repair like this, that's just a chance you have to take. Now, what I like to do with it, the one thing that I like to do is I like to close these valves up. I don't want the valves to be open. I want them to be closed. And the way we can do that is simply by putting the rod in there and feeling and see where that piston is. Whether or not this is overlapping, you know, on the overlap, it's still going to be, the valves are still going to be closed both times when the piston comes up. Of course, a 720 degree rotation for a combustion cycle. So, but either one time when the piston goes up, the valves are closed, and that's what I'm after. And I would say with air, you know, I'm fairly positive that we're very close to it. I'm going to try to roll it a little bit with a wrench. And no, I hadn't moved it. That's just luck right there. I'm moving up. Should be pretty close. Go slow on the turning so you don't loosen anything up. Okay, so this has quit moving. That means that piston is like relatively close to top dead center. I don't care what stroke it's on. Like I said, the valves are closed now. get me a little bit of a rag. I got a damn mess in here. Got parts strung out. I've been working a little bit here and there on my little van project that I got to get done. So anyway, continuing on, what's required next is we got to get the tap in here, and on the tap is this right here is the cutting edges, and of course this part of the tap right here is cutting the threads for our insert. Again, we're going to use this insert here. So we'll start easing that in there, and note that there is a knurl up on the top here on these threads. That is the top. You definitely don't want to reverse that. Here's the tool to expand, swage the thread insert after we get it installed. Of course, like I said, these tubes are deep, so we'll have to get an extension or something else on that as well. But for right now, we're going to try to fish that down in here. Hopefully I got a socket that's really skinny. So I want to get my swiveling spark plug socket that has, of course, magnetic end on it. I'm going to carefully insert that in here. So there is one other thing that I'm going to do. Since I don't really know where the threads are on this, I guess I could stick a borescope in there and find out. I don't think I'm going to get all that carried away with it. The edge is right there. I'm assuming that would be the seat as well. We can go ahead and get that spark plug and do a little bit of checking before we get bit. Okay, that does feel like it seats up on the top edge. I think it does. Matter of fact, let me go get a wrench and pull the other one out and just verify about where I'm at here. Not a big deal. You know, I don't want to make a big deal out of it. It's not. So we'll take a peek in there and make sure that what I think it actually is. So I see my seat is actually down in there some. So the objective would be, you know, we want to get a full thread in there. You know, we don't want to bottom out and not be deep enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my calipers here and I'm going to measure down to the piston as well. The reason I'm doing it is to make sure that my tap don't bottom out. Got about 1 5/8 inches. What in the thunder did I do? There it is. So it does look like I'm going to have enough room to tap it. So we'll switch the spark plug with the tap here and easily, hopefully, turn it in there. I say hopefully we'll turn it easily. I really did a number on ripping the threads out of here. There's no guide. There's no guide left at all. This is also a part now where we need to be really careful. And what I do is I keep an eye on my spark plug socket. If the socket starts hitting against the tube, the wall of the tube, it's not going in straight. You know, kind of something else to think about. To get a stronger magnet, hopefully wiggle that dude out of there. Oh. Well, here's a lot of the chips from the threading, or from the threads, the newly cut threads. So I'm gonna go ahead and blow that out. You know, take your time when you're doing it. You know, make sure you clean your tap every now and then. We're gonna reapply some more grease on it. I use that Stay Loop Staplex is what I use. This is a red grease that's in a can. I use that quite a lot. Use it on brakes and all that good stuff as well. It is looking like it is doing the right thing, so carefully insert it back in there, or throw it in there. That'll work too. It's very important that it starts back up. At this point in time, you know, you can go ahead and run that tap pretty quick if you want to. You're not going to hurt it. And this is the reason why I opt to get a new kit every time I do this, because I know that tap is sharp. I know that tap will cut. They're not going to cause me any problems. So here we got more. And of course I can see idiot. That was funny. I can see here kind of where that tap left off. So I want to compare. You know, we got a little ways to go. You can measure that. You know, it's doable. Once again, clean that tap off. The directions, when you read them, they say that they want you to use a high temp silicone when you put the thread insert in. I can already tell you I'm not going to do that. I use a thread locker compound. Actually, it's not a thread locking compound that I use. It's actually the green, and it is retaining compound is what it is. And using that retaining compound, as soon as that warms up in here, it locks in there and it seals as well. So there shouldn't be no problems. Be careful not to get too many chips in those threads because that tap can lock up on you, and that's a bad thing altogether. Then when you try to get it out, you're going to rip the threads out that you just cut, so that's not a good thing. Kind of be mindful of that. So at this point in time, and this is something that I do, is I'm going to get an air wand and I'm going to stick it all the way down there close to the piston. Then I'm going to blow air down into the cylinder, and hopefully by doing that, what chips are up here on the threads, because the air is naturally going to blow back out, will carry the chips along with it. You know, and as with everything, you know, not everybody going to agree with it, and of course there's going to be some people that's going to do the thumb down on the video, you know, blah blah blah. Don't care. So this is up on the piston. I hope well, I don't think the camera would ever pick that up, but I can nearly bet you all the chips came right back out. It sure had an awful lot of chips come out. So at this point in time, we're going to put the old brake parts cleaner in the hole. Soak her up and wash our threads, and hopefully wash our grease. Wash all that off. This time we're going to get us a rag, because I don't want that flying all over the camera, and well, actually I'm using my phone, so we're going to put a rag over the hole here. So we got it soaked up pretty good. because we've also now took the grease off, and that's what I was telling you about. That's the reason why I said be careful on the grease. There was these aluminum shavings in there, and I think you can see them on the rag right here. When I put the cleaner in there, you know, it basically melts that grease out of there, and now we can blow. Everything is dry because it dries things up, and now all the chips are coming out. Wish I wouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. 100% guarantee there ain't nothing in there? No. Part of it. Get over it. This point in time, like I said, we're ready to try this out, and a couple of ways we can go about it. There is an actual tool. And this dude right here is a Loctite 609. This is green. It's retaining compound, as I said. It's not just a thread locker. It actually, the differences, if anybody wonders what the differences is, the take up, basically the amount that it will seal is a lot greater on this stuff right here than you have on the other stuff. Matter of fact, it says on here somewhere. Well, I can't read this right here, and I may be wrong if I tell you. Oh, here it is. We can maximum diametrical clearance of 5 thousandths, guys. So that's a lot. You know, that seals them threads. See where this is going. Hopefully the insert stayed behind. No, it did not. If at first you don't succeed, try again with a rubber hose. It is in there like it's supposed to be. Not even going to try to show you this because I don't think the camera is going to pick it up. We just sunk right below the edge, and we're going to go ahead and put this tool in here. That's the one thing about this operation I don't really like, is the fact that this tool right here is really not long enough to do this job. Again, that Ford has the proper tool for it, I think. I'm not for sure. I use a punch. That's what I use. But so the tool is in place. Here's where you need to use caution, that the tool stands straight in the tube. You don't want to angle that and hit it with a hammer, and whoo, not good. Figured I'd share that with y'all. Well, I'm actually pretty straight in the tube right there. So a good tap. And that's enough to hit pretty solid at that point in time. Ah, multiple manufacturers make these, so they're all about the same quality. So you don't have to worry about one being better than the next. Uh, my local parts stores got them. AutoZone's got them. I think O'Reilly's got them. And what I just did with the insert, I used this hose, by the way. I'm sorry I didn't show that. I just stuck the very end of the insert right there on this hose right here and just turned it in. That's how I got it down. Sorry, I'm completely missed this, but anyway. Put the spark plug back in the hole. Pretty solid. And as they say, the proof is in the pudding, right? And for those of you guys that are in the hot spots, I wish you the best of luck. Sucks what's going on right now. I really about opted not to have any vehicles come in, but I don't. It's not really as bad in our area as it is a lot of the other places. So, guys, use caution when you're doing things. Protect yourself. It's not a joke. If there's a lot of people out there that think this joke, so a hoax, a joke, whatever, I just hope for you guys that think that, I hope the joke's not going to be on you. And that, according to that camera, it probably sounds a little bit funny, but it almost sounds like it's blowing by. It's not. That's the engine noises. I thought the same thing. I had to listen to. That's not blowing by there, guys. Exhaust leak. I wonder if we can make his day. Oh, something about maximum here on my camera, or on my phone I should say. Somebody left the nut off the exhaust tube back here. I guess somebody decided it was a luxury and we don't need it. I'm going to play with it for just a minute, but I'm not hired to do that job, so we're not going to mess with it and possibly tear something up. Feel the need to tell you all about this a little bit. whenever you get the customer vehicle in there, and you're trying to do that little bit of extra, sometimes you gotta kind of restrain yourself a little bit on that kind of stuff. There's been times, that I've did or try to do something good for somebody, not charging them, trying to do the right thing, but actually ended up getting burnt. So over the years, I have learned, if you're fiddling with something and it doesn't immediately happen for you, just stop. Guys, I mean that, just stop, because you end up getting burnt, If you tear something up, you break something, you're ripping something off. There is no telling what all can happen when you're fiddling around with stuff like that, You don't know what they've done and why they've done it. So kind of try to refrain from doing all that. And, I'm not trying to preach at you, but just a little fair little warning from somebody that's that done it and has been burnt. Of course, we gotta have some air compressor action. I think I figured out why they did it. That's what I'm talking about, Ooh, Houston, we have a leaker. Funny thing is, there's two coils up here in the front that are not even contributing, or at least not not a whole lot if they are. And the one I just actually put the insert in, that's the only one that is contributing at this point in time. But like I said, we're getting too far ahead. I gotta shut this camera off and go about my business. He said we're not here to do all that. We were here to we were hired to fix the hole, and I think we did it. So. I don't think we got any blow by and all that good stuff. So guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, help me out a little bit. Thanks for watching.